Hi everyone, this is Sunette, and here with me in this video is Leila.
Hi.
Leila joining us again to, in this video, walk us through two memories. Well, not single memories, but two memories of phases that she's walked in her process of self-creation. And in those two examples, you'll get an idea of what is involved with redefining and living words, and especially now the word self-creation. The process of change that is involved in space and time, over time, in moments that eventually lead up to a complete and total transformation of yourself. All right, Leila, so would you share with us your first example of something that you faced in your experience of being a mother, playing a role as the parent, and how you faced something within you that you knew had to change?
Okay, so the one that comes up is where at some point my son Caesar really hated getting his nappies changed. Like, it was just a battle. They're so small, but they're so strong at the same time.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to get that nappy on if they don't want to get it on. So each time I knew he just had did a little wee-wee or poop, was like, okay, oh my God, here we're gonna go again, and kind of like, just like, maybe just wait a bit to do it. I know I have to do this because, it's gonna create consequence if I don't change it immediately. So, okay, just do it. And I noticed that, because I had to really drag my feet to come get him, take all of his clothes off, and he was already like, no, kicking his legs. I don't want to do this. Get the clothes off, get the nappy off, clean without getting hit in your face, and then get everything on again, because I was dragging my feet so much in it, and I was really like, I really don't want to be doing this. I could tell he also was like, this is not fun.
So in those experiences with Caesar, like kicking and screaming with changing of nappies, which I'm sure many or some mothers would be able to relate to, even fathers, in that experience, it started becoming emotional for you and emotional for him, and there was just not a nice mother-son moment at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I could tell, like, if I'm gonna keep doing this, and I'm gonna be like, oh no, you peed, or oh no, you pooed. Like, if I put myself in his position, it's gonna be like, I'm gonna create a dislike towards peeing and pooing, which is not something that I want him to create. I want him to be able to pee and poo when he has to, just get it out. So I could see, like, that's something I might be creating if I keep on like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. Why did you have to pee? Why did you have to poo right now? So I was like, okay, I need to change this.
Right, sorry, I just want to stop you right there. So that moment right there that Leila mentioned as well, with regards to that, let's call it a thought that came up of, okay, look, I've got to change this. I've got to change my experience within my relationship with my son and the changing of nappies. That's usually the seed of where real change potential can start within yourself. So from that seed, how did it progress from there?
Well, I made sure I didn't procrastinate changing his nap. If he has a dirty diaper, just move, change it. Don't wait with it. Don't let the experience accumulate, because you're going to be changing that nappy, whether it's now or in a minute or two. You're going to have to do it. So just do it.
Okay.
So that was kind of like my first move. Then I practiced with, okay, now I'm moving myself to immediately do it. Let me see how stable I can get myself to not be overwhelmed by the experience and to not act on it or be inconsiderate in how I put his clothes on, or if I'm rushing too much. Let me really take my time and see how can I do this properly.
Okay.
And then over time, slowly but surely, the experience starts to dissipate. Like, it's almost like not even aware that it actually goes away. Just one day you're like, wait, this is not like such a big deal anymore. And
Okay.
you suddenly notice, like, wait, I used to react to this, and now it's just like I can just do it.
Nice. All right.
And within that also he started to change. Like, he didn't mind getting his nappy changed, not because I changed the whole experience of what it means to get your nappy changed.
Yes. Fascinating. All right. So here everyone can also get a nice example of it going from that idea or that thought of, okay, something needs to change here. And, Leila already in that moment knowing, all right, I need to change. And with having the necessary tools, for example, the breathing, just the slowing down, and within that breathing and slowing down, just letting go of the overwhelming emotional experience and deciding to, in that moment, make a change of being more comfortable, doing it more slowly but surely, pay more attention. And then lastly, the point that Leila mentioned was where eventually, yes, the emotional experiences would come up and all the thoughts and the inner dialogue and making this such a big thing. And then having to consciously decide, like, no, I'm not going to allow these emotional experiences anymore, but change that over time, keeping constant and consistent with making that choice and living that decision to change. She eventually got to a point of realizing, hey, mother-son time in this moment of changing nappies is actually quite cool. Not so bad anymore. All right, so Leila, then just another point to ask is, all right, when you went through that emotional experience and you were overwhelmed by the thoughts and almost the agitation and irritation, what came up within you in relation to knowing how to change? Meaning, was it just kind of natural? Like, did the solution just come up inside of you to be more calm, to move slower?
Not immediately. It was more like I was in that state. I could feel the energy. I could feel my thoughts going. I'm like, okay, I just have to find something else, something different to do to replace this experience with. So what can I do? So it's just like, okay, let me just, slow down how I move his pants down, make sure I stroke him gently, make it a nice experience. Little things. It kind of just comes up in the moment that you kind of see, okay, what can I do differently?
All right, everyone, also very important to take with you, because we also oftentimes ask, okay, this is the problem, now what is the solution? But interestingly enough, if you place yourself in that position of, facing the problem in your thoughts or your emotional experiences, and you just ask yourself in that moment, okay, what change can I make within myself that is different to what I'm experiencing inside myself right now, you'll see the solution, the answer, the expression that you need to be, that'll assist and support you the most, will come up within you. All right.
Yeah, that's definitely something I noticed. Like before I had made the decision, all I could see was, this is a crappy experience. This is going to remain a crappy experience. Once you make a decision of, okay, I'm going to change. I don't know how I'm going to change, but I'm going to do it. Suddenly you start seeing outside of that box.
Fascinating. Yeah. So it only opened up after you made that decision.
Yeah, you need to make the decision. Yeah.
Nice. Fascinating. It's actually quite beautiful, really. You have a look at this process. I mean, it's not like... that is one thing I appreciate about this process, because it's not then just about knowledge and information. It is something real, something genuine that you've actually got to do and live for yourself before you're going to receive or get, what it is that you'd like to know, or what is it you'd want, what is it you'd prefer. All of us have become so used to wanting the answers and wanting the solutions now, or, kind of give it to me, tell me, instead of finding out for ourselves, True. So that would be fascinating. All right, Leila, thank you very much. And now for the second example. What other example do you have to share with us, just to assist and support with some more perspective and understanding in relation to this process?
Okay, and this one is more of so much one memory, because it was kind of more of a long-term process of change. This one is where I would have a lot of inner conflict inside myself about the role my husband as a father would play towards a child, and like, is he carrying his weight, and how much is he doing, and kind of comparing his life to my life, because he was working, he wasn't in the home as much, he wasn't able to spend as much time with the baby, where I was victimizing myself in terms of how much I have to do, which created a lot of conflict, a lot of arguments, and made things kind of really uncomfortable for everyone.
For some time.
Yeah. And then to kind of slowly work my way out of that. Yeah, that took some time.
Right, so this is also maybe something that everyone can relate to in different ways, where we tend to play the game of keeping score, which is what we would refer to that as. And suddenly your mental focus becomes more about, comparing, competing, judging yourself, judging your partner or another person, rather than how to work together with how different your lives are and how different your times are, but in a way accepting that and coming together and seeing how we can balance the time that we do have together or with a child. But within that experience, obviously you didn't see a solution, which is also interesting, because when you're like in that state or emotional experience or programming of keeping score the whole time, you don't see anything else but the problem.
Yeah.
So what happened, what finally happened to bring in that little thought or idea, that seed of change within yourself?
Well, it actually happened when my husband went away for a few days. He was not there at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that I was actually coping very well on my own. Where I was like, oh, but I need him and he must do this and that and, we must equalize our responsibilities. But then when he was gone, I was completely fine doing most of the things on my own. And I realized, damn it, he's not the problem. I am, because here I am doing most of the things, yet I'm actually more at ease, more relaxed. I can actually totally handle this workload.
And I have actually always been handling
and I've already been doing it.
Yeah.
I can do it even more extreme. What was making me uncomfortable was not how much I was doing, but who I was in relation to how much I was doing.
Okay.
And then I was like...
That's amazing. Well, that's actually a really beautiful example, everyone. I mean, have a look at that moment also. And also why I asked Leila, what happened to bring that point or thought or idea of change within her. Because sometimes to be able to change, we need to walk a consequential path. A consequential path meaning where things just keep going wrong and worse, and we see or find ourselves at the bottom of this deep, dark pit of emotion. And then, once we kind of lost ourselves in that problem for a while, light goes on going, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to live like this anymore. Other times, the realization or idea or thought of change comes up with less consequence having to happen first. We are a very, very odd design where it seems mostly things have to go really bad or really wrong in some way or another before we'll even consider changing. But it is something that we're looking at preventing in the future. But for now, that's also one dimension to consider, everyone, is, when you feel or start seeing or realizing things are not good in your experience of yourself or a relationship or, with something or someone in your life, breathe, become aware of it, have a look at it and ask yourself, is this how I want to continue or not? So when that point changed, how did your relationship with your husband change? Or did it even change? Or was the experience mostly just in your head?
No, it did change, because once I realized oh my God, I can actually totally do this. It's like the whole kind of like a resonant experience of our relationship kind of just like the water settled.
Okay.
And he felt like he could relax more.
Oh,
and then he would want to be around more and help more when he can, instead of oh my God, I don't want to be around, my wife and my kid, because just tension and stuff. I just don't want to be around that type
you're
of
a bit
thing.
too moody.
Yeah. I'm not even moody, but it's like, he can pick it up as that something's off, and it's all those little unspoken things that change, and then that just makes things easier.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So would that change that happened there be something that happened a bit faster? Over that one moment where your husband was away for some time and you realized that, hey, I'm actually quite fine and I've always been fine. Did it change from that moment, or was it still...
It changed, and then there was a point where it started coming back, and I was oh, wait, remember where this comes from. Remember what happened?
Okay.
Slow down. We've been here before. Let's not go there. It's just drop it.
And then you
know.
could just drop it
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
All right, nice. So that's also, everyone, a very, very nice example of how, Leila, again, realized something, but the change happened faster. As opposed to, with Caesar and the nappies, your son, with the nappies, the change happened slightly bit longer, because the emotional experiences were more intense, so it took more moments.
Actually, with the other one, it took longer because it took a while before that event happened where my husband was away to give me that clear-cut evidence of, like, you need to look at yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Right, but still, they're very, very nice examples of the difference of how longer or shorter, process of change can be for everyone. But it's also a good one to watch out for those moments where you may have changed, but the old pattern can still rear its head inside yourself, and it can try and take over again. You've got to remind yourself, no, I'm not participating in that again. All right, Leila, so anything else for our audience for today?
Good.
That is fine. All right. Everyone, thank you very much for joining us, and here a very nice video with some good examples. Leila, thank you very much.
Welcome.
And also the insights and perspectives within that example in real time, and much that each one of you can take with you in your process of defining, redefining, and living words. All right, everyone. Thank you very much.